Yo, what's up guys? Rob from All Out Performance UK coming at you with my episode 3 for my road to 200 kilo back squat. So today my legs felt much better than last week. Still not 100%, but way better. Spent a lot less time training last week just to kind of help with the recovery. Ate a little bit better, got more calories in, and it's paid off, to be honest, because Monday felt pretty damn good. So started getting warmed up. When I do my warm-ups, especially for legs, I like to do a lot of light plyometric work. So stuff like, you can't really call it plyometrics, just explosive, I guess, because it's like, you know, quick rebound stuff. But stuff like jump squats and ply lunges, I think, you know, just really help get the blood flow to the muscles a lot quicker in that area. It makes my joints feel a lot better, and just overall just makes my legs feel much better. So, you know, if that's something that you know, might help you, maybe try that. Some jump squats and plyometric lunges, I think, or plyo lunges. They made me feel a ton better. After I finished my warm up, started moving the bar a little bit. So I had my back squats today. So today I had 75% for 5, 85% for 3, and then 95% for max reps. So my numbers were, so my first set was, well, actually, before that, obviously, I did some warm-up sets with the empty bar, then I did 60 kilos, then 100 kilos, and then I moved on to my first set. So my first set was 5 reps at 120 kilos. This felt much better than last week, like I said earlier at the start of the video. Legs felt much better. I felt like I could really accelerate through the bar, whereas I didn't really feel like I could do that last week. So I was really pleased with that. Next set after that was 135 for 3. Again, this felt really good. I really felt like I could accelerate through the bar. Didn't really hit my sticking point. I felt it, but I didn't hit it. So I was able to kind of push through that fine with no issues. And my last set was 150 kilos for max reps. So I've never done anything more than 145 for max reps. So this is the first time for me at this sort of weight. And I ended up hitting 5 reps. So I only did 6 last week at 142.5, and I ended up doing 5 this week at 150. Granted that my last 2 reps are pretty grindy, but I didn't really feel like I lost position. I just lost speed. So I didn't feel like I was shifting. I didn't feel like my mechanics changed. It was just slow. And I'm going to talk about how I'm addressing that with my accessory work later on in the video. But 150 kilo for 5 reps, I'll take that. That's a 5 rep max for me. I've never done 150 kilo for more than 3 before. So volume PV, can't be unhappy with that. So really good squat session today. I just wish it was a little bit less grindy. I'm not, those of you that know me, I'm not much of a grinder, but the recent style of training I'm doing, sort of powerlifting stuff, you know, has kind of taught me to kind of push through those sticking points, and addressing all those sticking points is really helping with, you know, lifting a little bit more weight, or, you know, just pushing my comfort zone a little bit out there. Right, so after my squats, I moved on to my first superset of accessory work. So normally I do back extensions with an isometric hold at the top, but this week I decided to take the isometric hold out at the top and replace it with a different movement and do a superset. So I did 10 reps back extension with the 10 kilo plate, and then I did 10 reps each leg of just body weight Bulgarian split squats. Reason I do it just body weight, because I haven't done Bulgarian split squats in a long while. So what I like to do with movements I haven't done for a while, especially this style of movement, single leg stuff, I like to do just body weight first for a week, maybe even 2 weeks, kind of just to practice the movement, build my stability, just so I'm not like falling and stumbling all over the place, and then slowly introduce weight over time, because that's just a real nice way for me to you know, add progressive overload. It's just a little bit of weight at a time, rather than doing like a heavy weight straight off the bat and then adding reps or reducing rest. I quite like to add the load slowly if it's a movement that I struggle with stability on. So I did 3 sets, so with 2 minutes rest in between, of back extensions of 10 kilo and bodyweight Bulgarian split squats. After that, guys, I moved on to the power phase. So I was talking earlier about I struggle with the sticking point and I'm starting to grind a little bit. So in order to counteract that, I need to become, you know, more. I need to become faster. I need to become more explosive. And how I'm going to address this is seated box jumps and prowler work. So speed prowler, not necessarily like heavy, slow prowler. So if I want to become faster, I need to train as such. So stuff like sprint work, fast paced. So seated box jumps great, because what I do, I sit parallel, so my knees and hips are at parallel, and I explode out into a jump onto a box where, you know, the box height doesn't really matter. So I picked a height where if I jumped hard enough, I'd land with my legs pretty straight. If I knew I didn't give it everything I had, I'd land with a little bit of a bend in my hips, knees and the ankles. So especially for max vertical jumps, I like to, rather than just pick a height and try and land in a deep squat and just go as high as I can, I like to pick a height and I like to try and land as upright as I can, which is just a safer way rather than, you know, trying to land in a squat at the top because it's pretty sketchy. You know, but it's just a nice simple way to kind of, you know, gauge how much power you're exerting. If you start, you know, landing in a deeper squat, you know you're not outputting as much power. So for this, I did 5 sets of 3, with a minute rest in between each exercise. And for me, like, it really does help with the, you know, pushing through that grind and helping the acceleration of my leg drive. And then lastly, I finished off with the sled. So what I decided to do is load up 2 20s on the 25 kilo sled. So that's 65 kilos. If it's a 25 kilo sled, it might be a 45 kilo sled, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Whatever that sled is, with 2 extra 20 kilos on it. From there, I did 10 push only, and then I did 10 drag only. And I just did this essentially for time, I guess. So I just moved it as fast as I could. Obviously could have done it quicker, because as you'll see with my multiple camera angles, I had to move the camera every couple lengths just to get some footage for the video. But yeah, I didn't do too much of that. Obviously I spent quite a lot of time just pushing the sled, did a few extra reps, but when I wrote it up, my goal was to do 10 push, 10 pull, basically as fast as possible. I took rest in between each one because I didn't want to lose power output. So like I said, with the, you know, helping with my grinding, sort of my slowing down at heavier weights to become more explosive. If you don't train at maximal speed, you know, super high intensity in terms of, you know, getting from point A to point B, you're not actually training that anymore. It's just turning into sort of like a sort of medium grind, which is not what I want to install. I want to install maximum speed, so maximum force production. So when I do the sled, I do one length, and if I do the other length back the other way and I feel like I'm slowing down, I'll take a rest. So when I jump back into the next set, I'm pushing that sled as fast as possible. And same with the dragging it. So dragging it backwards, I actually think is more beneficial for me because I really feel that in my quads the most, and they were burning by the end. The lactate build-up was unbelievable. But the same principle, as soon as I felt like I wasn't outputting as much speed as power as I normally would, I'd just take the rest, wait for that to recover, wait for my aerobic system, kind of flush that all away, and then jump back in. And I think that's really important when you're training for power. Is the whole point of training for power is that every rep you perform should be at maximal speed, maximal intensity, rather than, you know, pushing to the point where you start to slow down, because then you're not training the stimulus anymore for, you know, as, you know, maximal maximal force production. So just something to bear in mind if you're, you know, thinking of doing a power phase. So from a power perspective, like I said earlier at the start, when I was talking about squats, obviously to increase my power output, I'm doing seated box jumps and I'm doing some prowler sprints. So next week, obviously I'll be progressing from here. I'll probably do the same exercises and progress them, and then the week after that I'll probably switch some stuff out, try some new stuff and see how it goes. But so far my squats are going up, everything's going according to plan. So stay tuned, hopefully some big squats to come in the next few weeks. Alright, take care guys, I'm out.